get it done, but it takes me longer because I have to kind of, it's hard to put them up because there's no solid bottom. So I have to make sure they're turned correctly, and then I work right out of the actual thing.
Okay, I think we are live. So I am going to make sure, let's see. Yeah. You to a new buddy of ours in the diamond painting community. On top of that, we're going to do a quick getting to know you. And as I told you guys, the focus of my February series was going to be just kind of getting reacquainted with that newbie experience, what interested us in the first place in the art of diamond painting, and what, just reacquainting ourselves with it. Have we gone askew? Have you experienced a burnout? What are you doing to make sure that you keep this craft fresh and that your desire to diamond paint still exists? As you know, it's an expensive hobby, one that we've invested ourselves in. And so the idea and the thought process behind this is to really get acquainted with the craft all over again. The beauty that we first questions. And I'm going to go ahead and get started introducing. You guys probably know them as Not Safe to Say online in the Facebook community. What do you prefer to be called during our live experience?
You can call me Brandon. It's okay.
So for you guys, I know that a lot of you were referring to Not Safe to Say as she and oh honey. Not Safe to Say from our Facebook community is Brandon. I did tell you guys about him probably a little more than a month ago that we were going to have a newbie coming into the community. And if you saw them around, make sure you show them some love, welcomed them, and included them into a lot of our sessions and our chats. So, with further ado, I'm going to go ahead and kick it right off and ask, what is it about diamond painting that attracted you to the art form?
Well, I have always been an artist. Anything that has to do with any type of different arts or anything I've always liked to try, whether it be painting, drawing, knitting, crocheting, any kind of craft. Come from an educated background, and I worked for LAUSD for a long time. So when I did head kind of like our art department for our side, so art has always been a passion of mine. Anything I could make or create, I always loved to do it. And I saw some of these in a store. I think what was it, like every now and then, and I had seen them, and I kept walking by because I'd be in a Hobby Lobby at least every. I kept looking like, this looks interesting, but yeah, I don't want to pay that.
So you were ripe already.
Yeah, I was like, and they weren't even like, because I was seeing them on the clearance rack.
Okay.
It was like $15, $16 for their little, diamond paintings, because most of them weren't full paintings like this.
Partials?
It'd just be, just a face or a lip or something like that.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, they look interesting, but I'd leave it on the clearance rack until it come down a little bit more. But then I never really kind of go back to it.
Okay.
But I always, once I saw it, I don't know, something sparked in me. There was an interest there. I just didn't know how to kind of take it forward, or even really if I really kind of wanted to, until I walked in work one day from lunch, and my beautiful coworker was showing off some of her works.
That would be me. I was showing off. Hope runs deep.
So I saw this massive painting, and I mean, it took up the whole siding of our desk. We shared a desk at the time where we were back to back. So I turn, and I mean, it's coming all the way from her side to my side. And I'm like, what is she doing? And I look, and I'm like, oh. And I was like, okay, so T, is this a diamond painting? And she was like, yes, I love them. And whoop. So I'm like, okay, cool. I've been looking at them, and I've been trying to, see if it would be something that I would like, but I've never been able to see one up close and personal until now. And when I saw it, I promise you, it was like the most amazing thing that I had ever seen. So I was like, I need to put my
There you go. So that obviously sparked interest, and I remember I did share in the group about your reaction. I had a big reaction also from Tony downstairs in the
mm-hmm.
mailroom because he sees the packages come in, and so finally he's going to get to see one of these up close after they're completed, and he was awed. So he had me downstairs. Why don't you take it down in the lunchroom? I felt like I was all over. And so by the time I go back upstairs, I guess a few people had started asking, well, what was that? And so by the end of the day, there were people coming from downstairs in casualty, and they were asking about it. It was very exciting. Obviously, anytime we get someone that's excited about the project, someone that feels what we felt when we first saw it, that's an exciting moment. So for me, I felt so overjoyed that people saw in the completed work what I see when I complete them.
And that's what really matters is when you complete the work, do you get a sense of accomplishment, a sense of awe, and that inspiration still because you've put like I promise you, the first diamond I put down on this thing, I looked at it and I literally wanted to just give up a whole ghost. Like, and okay, in all fairness, my Yoda here, she did try to tell me, you might want to try with something small,
Something
just so
tiny.
you can. Then I'm go hard or go home. I don't. Small does not exist in my world. If you're gonna do something, you do it big, and you do it big the first time.
Well, just to kind of put everybody into the frame of mind, what I was talking about when I spoke to him, his go hard or go home, he started on a princess. He's doing Snow White. And you guys know that's 42 centimeters across and it is 124 centimeters wide. So that's an extremely large overcoming to have as your first diamond painting, your first project. The other thing that I wanted for him was for him to experience perhaps something with double-sided tape, a China painting. And I kept saying, I'm going to go through my stash. I'm going to bring him something for him to get started. And I completely spaced. And next thing you know, he's got 5 paintings coming in from Diamond Art Club. Like, that's something you try, down the road after, you kind of got your feet wet a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, no, did you? And from there, I was like, oh, it's going to be so hard to pull them down out of the cloud to maybe try something else.
I did order something else, and we'll see. When I get that, I'll bring it so you can see, and we can see how it fares. But I mean, in all fairness to everything else, I'm a good listener, but I also do like to do a lot of research. And I was up most nights when me and her would talk about it at work. I was up most nights till 3 o'clock in the morning, just online researching reviews, watching videos of people getting different companies and different boxing, and then I put that with everybody else's bad because if I can deal with your bad, then we A1. And after kind of reviewing and then talking to her about it and getting her opinion of actually having some of them, I was like, yeah. So I felt that I did my research and that it was what I wanted. And I didn't want to waste time and money on something that I was going to do. And that's what I said. Like, I do it and then it's so little and it's just, it might like not give me the sense of accomplishment and feeling that I wanted to get when I finish one of those little ones that may not have as much detail and I look at it like I put all that time into it and I can't see it. Whereas doing something that I know I'm going to see the detail and love, no matter how stressful or hard it may be, that's what makes it, for me at least, worth doing. It's tedious, but at the end of the day, when it's completed, when I step back and look at it, I can see my pain, my blood, my sweat, my tears in that painting, and that's what art is to me. Any form of it, whether it be you playing music or painting or whatever, that you put all of yourself into it, and that you can see
Yeah.
yourself and others can see, hey, that's you in that painting. And that's what I wanted to accomplish and why I decided to go so big.
Well, I like that. I love that actually. Now, I did, just so you guys are aware, when he says that he was up till 3 o'clock in the morning and he was like really putting in the time and the research, that is also true. However, there was a new aspect also that he brought that was totally, I mean, before we talk about that though, I want to jump in and I want to get a concept from you or an idea of what it was you were looking at. Like, what were you attracted to when it came to picking your paintings? And what is it that made you, make them a selection, put them in your cart? What is that about?
Okay. So my thought process on these were, like I was saying, when I pick something, when I paint something, when I do anything, it's got to be something that when I look at it, the finished, the completed work is something I want, something I want to see. If I'm doing something for you, it's got to be something I know you want, something you would want to see. So if it's something that I have a passion for, I'm going to work through it. And that's what I knew, no matter how hard. I've been I'm probably one of the biggest Disney fans in all the entirety of the world. My family has worked for Disney. I've been there like everywhere. I love all of the Disney princesses. It's horrible. It's my obsession. But when I saw the work that Mandy had in Diamond Art Club, and I looked at myself to commission myself to do this this is going to be a while. That's all I can say. It's going to be an entire journey.
Yes.
But I knew that when I saw them, these were something I knew that when it got cold, when it hurt, when I was tired, when I just felt like I can't do this anymore, my back hurt. Mm-hmm. Everything, like when everything was going to hit, I knew that this was something a story. That's how I feel when I'm doing it. I'm telling a story about my painting. I'm telling a story about, right now, Snow White. And when I'm telling the story about Snow White, I'm thinking about it because, like you said, the customizations. I'm thinking about, how do I see her? Like, what should I customize to show my envisionment of Snow White? And so, like, it's I don't know. I'm bad too. I probably should have started off with letting her tell you guys, from the age of birth, everybody has diagnosed me with being a perfectionist. If it's not done right, I can't. So, like, everything has to be perfect. And if I don't see the perfection in it, I have to take it all apart and redo it. So that's why I decided to customize, because even though everything was perfect the way it was when I look at it on that photo, but it's just kind of not me.
Well, I mean, I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. And I think that's the beauty of customizing your artwork. It's making it so that it is unique to you. It's individual to you. It's your personal, concept and a grouping of what, means something to you, which is ultimately what, I utilize when it comes to paintings and stuff. I always look at the painting, and the ones that I have in my stash, I literally remember just the emotion or the passion that it gave to me the first time that I saw it. You probably haven't been able to go back and see some of my older videos, but there was this piece by artist Chuck Pinson.
Yes,
and the
tell
name
me about that, Chuck,
all the time. He is one of my favorite artists, and it's because when I look at his pieces, they take me to just small moments in my past that I can really think about something that conveyed that time, that put me back to that time.
Right.
So he had this piece called Island Time. And Island Time is the piece that caused me the most emotion. And everyone may not get emotional when they see a diamond painting. It might be something cute that makes them go, oh, I can remember, oh, my little niece would go. But this piece took me to a moment in time. It is an island piece, and my dad, before he passed away, he had a timeshare condominium down in Aruba. And this was the first big epic purchase that he'd ever had, where he felt he was doing something major. He was living a life of leisure. The piece spoke to me because I remember when he first got it, his description of it before we ever went, before we ever could actually, say, okay, this looks like the place in the brochure. The description that he had, Island Time, was that. And that is exactly what, it took me back to that conversation.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's exactly what art should do. But when you diamond paint, you're immersing yourself into the thought process someone else was trying to convey. And so that's what I like about it. This was someone else's unique individual con to me. But now I have a hand in creating it and bringing it to life. And I can recapture that thought process or that moment or jump back into that memory as I'm creating it. So that's what I like about diamond painting and why Chuck Penson's work means so much to me. I definitely get the pieces that I feel are representative of a moment in my history and things. Some of the other artwork I think is just like Nola. I love Nola. I remember me and my girlfriends did a girls trip way before the movie came out. We went, we stayed in the French Quarter, and to tell you, their weekend was just light on what our weekend. We did 10 days. And we came in at different times during the 10 days. Some of us had to leave earlier and things like that. But it was 10 days. It was a total amount of fun. And when I first saw that, that is exactly what that put in my mind. That
each painting brings you back to
it takes me to
memory.
Exactly. And so that's why I'm so in tune with them. I'll give them as gifts and things like that, but I have to have a connection. You hit on something a little while ago where you said if you're working on something for someone, that it's something that they're going to want. I think that's why I'm going to probably in the future steer clear away from doing commission pieces and things. My son had a commission piece last summer. I had a commission piece. Unless it's like my daughter wants me to do something for grandma, or my son suggests, here, I'll pay for you to do this for sister. Unless it's someone that's directly connected to me, I don't see personally, because of how connected I feel to my artwork, I don't see me being able to really focus much and do commission pieces.
I think I might be able to handle it only because being an artist my entire life, I've played violin, I've taken certain fine art classes, calligraphy. I've done things for people when I was younger that, to me, a commission work is not me picking. So Correct. It's basically you saying, you know what, or at least giving me some type of idea. You saying, I really love butterflies. And if you could find something that's very colorful and butterfly and get that done in this size, or whatever, that would be great. Okay, cool, I can do that. But I feel like, I can't you couldn't commission me to, per se, do a painting. Because I think where I get that feel from you is like, every painting that you choose, it pulls you somewhere.
Yes.
So if I say, T, I commission you to paint me something, then you go and pick something. You're picking it because, you might think I like it, but something about it still calls to you.
Correct.
So when you put your blood, sweat, and tears, like I said, into it, and then you step back and you look at it,
you keep
then
it.
It's like, ooh, but do I want to get out of the way?
Exactly. You keep
and
it.
Before I even did my first painting, before I put the first drill down on this, I did that same thing because I started with princesses.
Yours was going to be a gift, right?
Because I was like, I really like them, and then I was thinking, I could, get this one for my daughter, and this one might be cute, and this one's room, and then I was like, before I even put my drills down, I was like, yeah, I could just get them a lithograph.
It does change. It does change.
Yeah.
We got commission pieces that were simply sent to us. Do this for me type
just
thing.
drop the drill.
Yeah, like exactly. Just be plucking. And so those are the ones that I don't see me ever really being interested in doing. It's very difficult, but like you said,
because you don't have the passion.
You don't have the passion for
You're
it.
Looking at it, you don't really have a connection with it.
No connection.
You're just a robot dropping drills.
Yeah,
I understand that.
So
because once you get tired, it's like, okay, I'm tired. I'm gonna take a break, and then your break turn into tomorrow.
Your break turn into, oh my goodness, I never finished that piece. Yeah. So, well, that's interesting insight. Kind of moving over, obviously we touched on your customization and things like that. As a newbie, when it comes to diamond painting, what is it that you are scared of, that you've run into, you hear? I would like to know what kind of things are intriguing or scary to you. When I first started, I think I was coming into what's known now as Drillmageddon.
For us newbies, this is a myth. We this is from the time before time.
It's not a myth.
Back when all the continents were still connected, there was this thing called Drillmageddon that people talk about. But see, I wouldn't know nothing about it because I started straight into Diamond Art Club.
You
so
did, definitely.
I have no clue. And I would have really probably been messed up like that if it wasn't for my high, degree of research and actually having a person who had been there and had dealt with the war itself.
That's
so true. I got saved in that manner and then honestly, I just want it right now. And that's kind of honestly what really, before I really even got into the knowing what the Drillmageddon was and the problems with some of the other ones, and led me to Diamond Art Club, was the simple fact that it was here and I could get it. It was accessible. Like, I just can't wait for a whole month for something I want right now. And it doesn't sound like really, really that bad when you have a whole stash. But when you're trying to get your first works together, you don't have a stash. It's like, yeah, I don't want to wait a month. Like, I ordered one from China now, but I have like 7 other paintings sitting there. If that painting took 4 months, I wouldn't even notice because I got others to work on.
Do you see yourself building a large stash or a collection like so many of us?
Depends. It depends on what I like, and that's what I buy. I don't just buy, like, I'm not gonna lie, I have a problem with buying and anything on sale. Really a A1 go for. But when it comes to art, I'm particular.
Okay.
It's got to be a piece I like. It's got to be a piece I can see the completion effort in. It's got to be something I want to do or I'm doing for someone. So just buying a bunch of random ones to sit and probably not do or may not like it's probably not going to be me. If I put it in my stash, the only reason it's a stash is because I can't do all of these humongous paintings at once.
So. I do think, like early on, I think that's the first thing that a lot of us, we find something that is very cute. Oh, this is so cute. Click, especially with the price. When you discover, my very first purchase came from Wish. Wish is not the place that anyone will be building a stash from. Wish, the description be far off, may not be the picture that you actually see in the ad. The price of the diamond painting is $3.99, the shipping be $22.99. I mean, you have a lot that you are, overcoming when you start with Wish. And so for me, I Wish was definitely not a place where the stash was going to come from. I did go hard into videos and things after that, and people were doing their unboxings. And I think still to this day, unboxings are really my favorite videos to watch.
I was going to do one, but I don't have a channel. I don't have...
Well, get you one.
Well, I'm not prepared. I'm not going to lie. I didn't want to be sitting there unprepared. No, I mean, like, Of course, I could find a phone and prop it up, but I don't even have at home in my house. I don't really have space to even do this. Like as far as a setup,
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
like I would have to do this sitting in the middle of my bed, which is to me like danger zone.
Yeah.
So I've been, at my family's house at the large kitchen table doing it, the past couple of days that I've started. So I'm trying to work out at home where I'm gonna get this done because I could do it in my kitchen on my countertop island part,
Hmm.
but I don't even have bar stools in there. Like I never wanted to put anything in my apartment to invite company.
What you're saying, I'm not going to be able to guest star on your channel. You guys see how that works? Uh, well, I get that. And I think that initially there does come a point you're so advanced in everything that you think. Your whole process, you are more advanced. So when I first started, I was on my couch over there. You see what you're painting on right now, the board? I'll put that board, prop it up on these thick thighs, and I would go. And I just pluck along, and I'd look up and watch TV, and pluck along and look up and watch TV. And my son, he would always come and examine. And he would say, "Let me see how far you got, Mom." I'm like, "Okay." Yeah, he come in here. He has two besties, and then my nephew. They all were boxing together. So, of course, they're going to come here afterwards, and they're going to raid the kitchen. So he comes in, they're in there raiding the kitchen. He wants to see my progress and things. As I had plucked down more drills, the interest grew even more. And he was like, "Low key, Mom, I really want to get into that. That looks fun." And I'm like, "Okay, we'll get you one. So
and you never really thought that he would, huh?
I didn't. Then he plucks over, he grabbed one out of my stash, and he's sitting at the dining room table over there. And he's painting one day. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he is like, "You said anytime I wanted."
Oh, was it one of your good ones?
No, it wasn't at that point.
Oh, thank God.
It wasn't because I
What
had
if he had pulled out one of your what if you pulled out Nola?
He wouldn't have been able to live through no. I've been like, "If you don't get your butt up." But he was plucking. It was one of the ones I had got from eBay. I went to eBay next. What's up?
Nothing. Just looking.
You like that?
Yeah, I like how it yours looks all lit up.
Does it? Oh, that's because
Yeah,
I like
you
that.
like that. But I think the light pad would distract me.
Not at first. I mean, at first, yeah, but not after a while. You get used to it. I can't see. I'm looking at yours like I don't understand how you can.
It's bright. These Diamond Art Club canvases are
They
bright,
are. They are.
and the symbols are very clear. So I don't get confused. I can see clearly what I'm doing.
I can see clearly now.
As a new person, I've just been doing works on trying to figure out what's a good flow for me. Like you were talking about how I order my drills here, and I'm like, I just came up.
I just want you guys to see his system. I'm gonna have to really go and show because your system is
right now it looks a little messy because I'm confined, but it's really not this messy when I'm actually into it. I only pull out what I need. Like these would go back in the box, but my box is too big to sit up here. But and this isn't usually up here either. I'll put all this back in the box. But like how I'll line it up is whatever colors I have. Right now I'll have them lined up in front of me, and if you can look on my little containers, you want to take it over there so you can see?
Yes.
I have them like listed, with the color and the symbol so that I know what I'm doing. So
I know you guys all are familiar with these.
When I pull whatever piece that I'm going to do, whatever section I'm doing, I just pull every single case of these that I have for that section, and I open them up. Now, what I was doing, I was pouring a little bit of them out because I was trying to do like 4 at once, and I was using the top of my bead container, I'll show you, to separate them out. So like I put some here, and then I put some in this corner and in that corner, and that's how I had first tried to start separating, doing multiple colors at once, because when you get the painting, you only get one. and I'm like, I was trying to do one color at a time, and I was trying to peel back the paper, and it just wasn't working for me. It was getting too confusing, taking too long for the setup.
You see the colors in the corners?
Oh, shoot.
I'm showing them the colors now.
Oh,
So
these
as you guys can see, I'm going the wrong way. These are the sparklers.
well, these are the regular
That's regular
black
right there, black
310s.
310.
These are Tina sparklers over here, and these are like these are the sparklers. This is the sunshine sparkler, I believe is what she calls this one, and this one is the original sparkler.
Which has more like a glassy shine to it.
I'm trying to turn these over so you can see more of them. Don't laugh at my process, people, okay?
So he's like using the lid of his Doris storage container, and he puts the colors in the corners, and then he taps on them. And I said, that's what you're supposed to do with the boat. He doesn't like the boat. And I said, you tap the boat, you shake it, and the diamonds lay flat. And he said, no, I like my system better.
I do, because the boat is too small. I can only fit so many in here, and then I'm constantly having to refill it. And then when you're doing sections with multiple colors, I can't deal with this. Like I have to finish this, and then if I still have some left over, I gotta pour them and redo. And I seen online some people had the where they glued multiple together.
Yeah.
Which I was like, okay, but I just kind of ran off.
They use those for confetti.
Okay.
So, and then have you ever seen a Lazy Susan? Where they those are excellent ideas, and I've seen them. One moment while I fix the camera back in the tripod section.
The tripod section.
All right. Okay. Oops, I didn't realize this had turned so much. All right. So there is this Lazy Susan. It is a contraption. It's flat and it's round, and you can turn it around. Okay. So a lot of times you will see that they will put Velcro on the bottom. They'll put these on a Lazy Susan, sort of like this in a circular fashion, and they can turn it for areas where there's large amounts of confetti. So if you have to switch one color to another color, that's what that concept is. Me and Justin did a comparison because we saw someone who did a shoebox instead. And they did a shoebox. They did the same thing, but they had theirs lined up like this inside the shoebox. And then they had maybe on the other side of the shoebox, and they turned it around. Still a good concept, but the minute you bump it on something,
oh, yes.
Yeah. And so, and then trying
to don't let kids near y'all. Diamond painting. They're all interested in what I'm doing, and there's so many of them, and then they fought the whole time.
Move, it's my turn.
Yes, like I would try to give them jobs. Like, okay, well, I'm switching colors, so can you find me the one that says 413? Can you find me the one that says 910? Yeah. And you see the way I have mine listed, so they just go through my box and they can find it and pull it out. And then when I'm finished, like if I was finished with this corner, they're sitting over there. So once I'm finished with that color, I'll slide the box and I'll turn it, and I'm working on these. And I'm like, put those back in there and put that back in my container, and that will keep them busy. Yes. Or like how I would keep them busy too is, you know how like some of them are not turned.
Okay.
I give a couple of them the tweezers, and they sit there. They don't know I don't need it, but they sit there and they're painstakingly turning them so that I can, when I get to that color, I can just bloop, 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 bloop.
That's nice.
Well, like I said, I'm an educator, so you have to find ways to keep them busy, because literally they were driving me crazy. Like they were fighting over who sat closest to me. They were fighting over the tweezers to the point I had to go to the 99-cent store and buy more tweezers just so that they could leave me alone. Then I found a little like gem sticker one.
Yeah.
At the 99-cent store, I bought that for them. Like, here, y'all do this so y'all can leave me alone.
My grandniece, the one that I was telling you about a little while ago, when she comes over, I get her once a month, one weekend a month. She comes over and hangs out, and she always says, "Auntie, I want to diamond paint with you." And I say, "Baby, you can't because you're not old enough. These are, because she understands age appropriate gifts. She says, can I do that at my age? So it's not for your age yet. This is 7 and older. Are you 7 or older? She'll always lie. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what my ID said.
So she always say, can I do that at my age? So I told her that these weren't age appropriate. We were at the Dollar Tree right after Christmas. And they have these bead type things where you wet them and they stick together. Yeah. And I got her some of those.
Okay.
And so she's able to feel like she's diamond painting because she puts them down and it forms a picture.
It was literally a diamond painting, but it did. You weren't painting the people. Think about the half ones, and they had stickers like gem stickers that you would stick, and they had the little like squares and a color chart too.
Okay.
Like if it's this color
and
square,
you put like a picture together with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
cute.
what she had, and I said, hey, but she's foregoing on 29, and she'll challenge me, and she'll say stuff like, this is for babies.
Yes. My daughter hit that quick.
This is for babies.
I want to do.
I want to do the one you doing. This is for babies. So she at least has eyes. She understands what quality and things like that. They want to pluck their hearts out.
I let them do one drill, and then I was like, "Now go away," because I have to fix it. And I'm like, y'all gonna slow me down, and they eventually did. I'm telling you, when my niece knocked over the whole entire thing with all of the diamonds in it, and literally I had to get down on the floor. I was on my hands and knees for like an hour and
I think we've all experienced that. Knocking over
and it's
drills.
hardwood floor. So you would think it's going to be easy to get them together, which it was. But on hardwood floor, the little tiny dust particles and dirt that you don't see when you're standing up, when you pull all the diamonds together, there's every hair and dirt particle. So it took me hours to sit there and get them together, and then pick them up, make sure they were dusted off, get them back in the thing. And then she kept knocking it over again while she was trying to help. And I don't want to be mad at her.
Don't be mad at the baby now.
I gotta be a good uncle. And she was just trying to help.
Don't be mad with the baby.
And I was like, I'm so glad it's bedtime.
Well, since you are using Diamond Art Club, for anybody out there who, I know not everyone has ever experienced it, Diamond Art Club has a warranty. Hopefully I don't get a strike for cussing on YouTube. But Diamond Art Club does have a warranty for things like spilled diamonds, lost diamonds, things of that nature. Something didn't arrive with your package. So that is one of the, the great benefits of maybe shopping with them. I know that they have a name for maybe being a little bit more costly. For me, when I shop Diamond Art Club, I always shop with some sort of a discount code. Mm-hmm. I very rarely purchase until I know that there's a percentage off. And the reason why I do that is so that I can bring it down to an affordable level, like some of the other companies. I've shopped on AliExpress. I have a Diamond Dots. My Starry Night.
Unfortunately, don't be at that. But you know what? I shopped on AliExpress for my one China painting because honestly, not even trying to be horribly biased to Diamond Art Club because they're the only paintings that I have purchased so far. So kind of my review and opinion is overly biased because I honestly refuse to do any other company because
of the reviews that you've seen.
I've seen
but that's good. You did the research.
Not all of them have bad reviews. Mm-hmm. It's just from the review, and now having one in my hand, touching and feeling and working on, I can say that the reviews that I had seen were not overly inflated or anything like that.
Okay.
Like everything that I've got from those reviews, the good, the bad, from Miss Coffee, from what was the other one? It was another one. I cannot remember the name of that. The ladies one. It's something about little somethings. Remember, I told you, and you knew what it was right when I said it. Um, Shoot, I wanted to remember. Maybe it'll come to me. I'm old, y'all. You gotta forgive me. But yeah, I looked at all of these, seasoned painters, and learning, looking at, what they're doing, how they're dealing with their newbies, because I think Miss Coffee's husband was getting in. So, just looking at how to start my own, thing, but also, wanting to not just be out there, thinking I know a bunch of stuff. So looking at the reviews, they can be a little confusing because sometimes you'll get some of these padded reviews where people will just say, "Oh, this is great," and everything is great. And that's why I always say I look for negative. And not every review is going to have a bunch of bad stuff. And I don't mean like I'm looking for people just ratting on a company.
Okay.
I'm looking for a fair review because not always everything can be perfect.
I agree.
If you don't have anything to improve on,
I agree.
so then you get stagnant. So I liked the honest opinion I got. Unfortunately, I couldn't give you a video from, my good friend sitting next to me because I was like, I had access to her. I was pulling her hair out. She was sitting behind me trying to ignore me. And I was, T. Like, I looked at this. I found this. What is this? Hunting her down at lunch and wouldn't let her eat.
Don't worry, guys. She didn't miss no meals.
Yeah, I was like that with everybody. Like, even when I joined I had like, everybody was like, I know they look at my name on Facebook and they were like, why? Like that, because I remember they first thought it was a fake page, but I had to explain, like, I'm not a social media person. I was years and years and years ago.
Okay.
But to me, I found, and it may not be for everybody, but I see it does happen to a lot of people. I found that people stop living their own lives and they just start watching people live life. And I didn't want to be one of those types of people. And I saw myself going down that road. I'm too busy sitting here looking at what you do, painting, instead of painting it myself.
So painting it yourself.
Oh, well, that's a nice painting, and I got to see it done, and I didn't even have to put all the effort into it. It made, to me, our society lazy with certain aspects of it. Most people use it, in good ways, but some people, they just
start using social media for the bad.
And then you got the trolls and the people talking about you for no unapparent reason. Like, it became too much for me. And with, the things that I was going through at the time, I was like, what's best for me is to not waste my time on social media. So I got rid of everything. My Facebook, my Instagram, for people who want to show their age, my MySpace, my Black Planet.
You said MySpace? I ain't heard that in 15 years. MySpace so old, I don't even know my baby. Who's grown? I don't even know if she knows what it is.
Out there, y'all. I'm not a spring chick. I just got good genes.
Wow.
But
MySpace.
Yeah, so I really got, and this is to show you how interested in this I was. Mm-hmm. She started to tell me about the, people that, she conversed with, that she, had camaraderie with in the painting world, and telling me, that if I wanted to learn more, this would be the way to do it and how to access it. Mm-hmm. So I broke my social media agreement with myself, and opened me a whole Facebook so that I could do just this. And that's why my page is particularly blank at the moment. I didn't have any diamond art and stuff to put up to, do anything yet. I was just starting, and I didn't want, because even though I just wanted to do it for this, Facebook was already invading. Like, it was showing me people that should be my friends and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, this is just for diamond painting. I don't want no friends. You know,
just gonna
so
do that.
I just was
You're right.
like, this is why I didn't want to, be back here, but I knew this was the only way I was going to be able to get
Get immersed into
the help
the art
and the stuff that I really wanted. So I did it, and the name came from um, long ago. I made my brother laugh with it because it was like if you wanted a name, like a name, like how James Bond has a name, or like you have a name that was safe to you,
yeah,
but it didn't tell who you really was. It was like your alias. What would it be? And I just came up with that, like not safe, and then to say, like, and they laughed, and it just stuck.
When I tell you guys, he had the hardest time getting into some pages. It is hilarious. Like he was like, I think I got blocked.
Oh no, I did. They had blocked me.
I think I'm being blocked.
I was not. I had to go straight. I had to go straight to like, hey, Tina, I was trying to join your page, and I had to explain to her, like, I know it may look fake, and this is why I had to give her the whole story and everything. Like, I really just made this page recently and just did it just to join your group so that I could get into diamond painting and learn from, the people who've been there and check out also her product that I was hearing so much about. And she was so gracious and, humble about it. And she, apologized and told me, yeah, that's what they would do if it's a fake looking page or anything. They're going to get rid of it. Just, not to have people in there trolling and stuff, which I understood. If you're not a fake page, it's so easy to just IM if you really want to do it, or email or whatever. So I did, and she opened it up, and ever since I've been in. So I tried to post, just my little stuff at first that one day so that people knew that, hey, this isn't a fake page. This is a real person back here. Yeah. I just haven't got all my stuff together yet.
And then he placed an order. Oh, God. And you guys can see that right here.
Yeah.
All of the beautiful loveliness.
So that I could show when I came Tina's wonderful works that she sent. And honestly, this was my revisited order because the first one probably would have had me with a fourth job. So I was ordering everything. I ain't gonna lie. I wanted one of everything and then two of some of the stuff, and I was like, this is that.
Of course. I mean, we all get that way. So these are the sparklers. They are these are the AB diamonds, and yes, you can get them from off of Diamond Painting with Sparklers. And as you can see, they have the Aurora Borealis effect on them. These did come from there. These are the 310s. So what they were purchased for was based on the color schemes of the paintings that he purchased. No. Yes. Pull out the map. That there was a mapping out, a lengthy, because I purchased and then I started plucking. But the map
long, but because Snow White, there was not a lot of stuff that I wanted to do for her. I could use them. So this is Milan. So I got her box out, I opened her up, and I just completely began to break down each color, where it fit, what pieces it was in and on, because you know how some colors share, space on a canvas. It may be in the sky, it may be in the water, it may be in an eye. So I broke down the symbol, the number, the colors, and where that particular color sat. If it was in, because you know how some of them have depth and shading, if it was in the interior of on the outside, just so when I looked at what I wanted to customize and what numbers that I could find, which ones would actually sit well. And honestly, that was my crazy perfectionist, and it just
red lips.
It took crazy.
The red lips and the belt
to a whole new level.
These are the colors, the mapping right here. Over here, this was more of the blue outline of the belt. This is right here, the mapping of the colors that would be used. This right here for the browns and the coppers, these are all outlines. So these are the mapping of the actual sparklers that will be used to create the effect. When I tell you perfection, was placed into this customization, and then to look at the piece itself, where you see the browns and the coppers, where you see the thought process, where the light shading versus the outside with the outer shading. You can kind of start to piece in here the belt, where the blues, you can start to see like where that sparkle effect and where the AB effect is going to be.
Hmm.
So,
And I literally did it for every single one. If you could see
woo,
that I had got in
look at
the
that.
actual, this one was for Ariel, and then I did this one, which was for Sleeping Beauty. She didn't, for some reason, come with the color chart. She was
Oh
the
yeah,
only one that didn't. For
Sleeping
some
Beauty
reason.
had
Yeah.
been probably around for a while before they started using
I
that.
don't know where
So
I put.
you should have probably got. Did you get a little strip?
It's
Oh.
just what's on the painting. That's all I had. And then this one was for Tiana, I think. But I always take Tiana out because everybody's always asking me about Tiana.
Tiana's the one that I feel that whenever
So
you talk about customizing, so many people always say, "Yeah, I want to customize Tiana." And I think there's just a lot of like different greens, reds. Maybe she's in the beginning.
I don't know. She in there somewhere. If she ain't, she already been mapped. So
Here she is.
okay, yeah, okay. So here's Tiana. She goes here. So you can see, like, I mapped out each one of them. So when I made my orders or when I was online looking, I knew, I may want to do just her dress. So what is in her dress? She has greens in her dress. Which greens? She has 907, 905, 906, like that. So when I'm online looking for what pieces I may want to customize, I know I'm looking for these pieces to do her dress. I'm looking for these pieces to do her dress, or whatever I'm looking for.
What part of the dress?
And then that helped me because at first I was just going to be buying everything. But then I'm like, you're not going to do everything.
You're going to highlight. You're going to shadow.
There's going to be certain things you're going to highlight, certain things you shadow, and certain things you may do everything.
Yeah.
But at least now I know if I'm going to do the whole dress, I need to get these. And I can look at how many places I have them in. Like this one's in the interior of the dress, in the middle of the frog, in her crown, in the vines, on the top, in the outline. So I know I need a good fair number of these because it's in a lot of places. Whereas something like this one is only in the dress and only in the frog and a little bit of the vine. So I don't need as much.
Wow.
But it just, that's what I tell you about being a
perfectionist and
it will kill you. But once it's done, it's all in the prep work. Once the prep work is done, it's just all about laying it down. That's the part that I wanted to get over with.
Yeah.
And I did. So all of my works, except for the new ones that are on their way, I want to give props to Pocahontas, who showed up in my life late in the game, but I'm happy she did because she was gone.
I seen Pocahontas back on site. A lot of people were happy coming into Valentine's week. So yeah, I go there often because it has become my go-to. I want to thank Diamond Art Club this week, especially. And the reason I'm saying I want to thank Diamond Art Club is because usually you guys have a new release every week. And because of your new releases, I have yet to be able to purchase a much needed new light pad. Because of the fact that you guys did not have a new release this week, I would like to announce to everybody that she has purchased a light pad. It should be en route as we speak to my job, and I hope to be able to introduce you guys to her during this week live. Some other things I want to cover. We will have a giveaway this month. The giveaway is going to be focused on just the newbie experience, how you came into diamond painting, what what causes you to press the buy button when you do purchase, what you're looking for, what kind of diamond paintings you have, just revisiting all of those newbie thought processes are what I wanted to kind of focus on. Everybody was sharing the love this month. They were sharing their works in progress on a greater scale because it's a new year. It's 2020, and we do have the /the-stash going around. Sorry about that. Hashtag /the-stash. And with so many people focusing on putting out their their stash, and some people are destashing and they're actually selling some of the pieces that might have meant something to them. I wanted to just reconnect with what you guys felt when you first started diamond painting. What caused you to purchase this? Why is this painting no longer something that you want to work with and you're destashing it? Things of that nature. Pop those answers down there in the chat box. As I said, we will be doing a giveaway this month. For the live this week, we are going to focus on that experience. I will have an unboxing finally, hopefully, if everything goes right, of my light pad. I will introduce this month's giveaway, and what we're going to be looking for as far as the responses. And then obviously next week's live is when we're going to announce the winners. So make sure you guys stay tuned. I'd like for you guys all to give a warm welcome to our newest member of the diamond painting community. Not safe to say. Make sure if you guys see him around. Make sure if you guys see him around in our diamond painting forums, that you guys say hello. And I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to my whipping chat for this week. You're just about finished?
Yeah, with this section so you can see the customization if you want to.
Sure. So he's almost done with the section. I'm about to finish up these pluses here. But again, I just wanted to make sure that I took a few moments to kind of get acquainted with you guys, just to really kind of chit chat, paint, and see the thought process behind how someone else, especially someone brand new to the community, he's not brand new, he's been in the community for just over a month. He just didn't start plucking until recently.
Well, you got a lot to do before you start plucking, man.
I'm a plucker, I'm telling you right now.
I'm a planner.
My son, when he first started diamond painting, he has a process, and his wax process is
what does he do with his wax?
annoying.
I've been trying to learn more about this wax.
He is he has to align it up. So you see right here, I don't care. I just
go around the edges.
Oh my gosh, his wax is up there. If you want to grab it, you'll be able to see. He is such a he has to be extremely neat about it.
I don't know.
It has to go in a line.
So neat, but I was looking online where they say you don't have to use so much, and once you feel it, if you just kind of nibble around the edges, it'll last you forever. For this one, look. So I just literally will flip it back like that and just
you do
nibble on the edges every now and then, just to give me a little bit more.
I'm showing you what my son does.
I don't know if this is right, because once I've done it, I'll do it like that, and then I'll try to press it in my finger. I
press it on the edge right here. In there. That's why this is off. This because I use this corner of my desk. So this is what he does, and it has to be in perfect order, for him. But I'm messing up. I can't even do it.
So you just go anywhere.
Anywhere. I plug and I dive in. His has to be in a straight line, as straight as
now, do you find that he's
he's much more.
Do you find that his stuff lasts longer than yours?
Not really.
No.
I don't.
That's why I was doing it, because they say that when you do it this way, it lasts forever. And I hadn't did my research on waxes, which I just started now, and trying to figure that piece out. So I was like, as long as I don't have any extra wax, I should probably pluck, very slowly, so I don't run out of wax and have all these paintings. Because I'm like, if I just did like you with that little heart when I felt like it, I would probably not have enough wax for this picture.
Well, I mostly find myself using the I do like Diamond Art Club, but I have been using the blue wax. I told you. Yeah. I'm starting to run low. I didn't, this was a gift, and I only have a little bit, and because I only have a little bit, then I gotta cherish. I gotta cherish what I have.
How long does that one take?
They're coming in from China, so it can take up to a month to arrive, unfortunately.
So I was done, but then I noticed I had not enough drills that I had taken out.
Oh, I see what you said.
And I think I'm missing two. That's what I'm trying to count. But Here, I think these are just my regulars, and I needed a sunshine. They be doing me shady. These drills is like my kids.
You silly.
They be doing me shady, I'm telling you. I just need two and I'm done. One and two. Alright. Then I can at least show you my thought process on this little ugly piece of customization I did here. Don't ask me why people it's backwards in my thought process because when I looked at it, I was like, maybe I should do it the other way around. But then, honestly, like I said, everybody was mapped except for Snow White. She was a last minute because she was sold out, and I just really wanted it so bad. And I happened to message the Diamond Art Club people, and they were like, "Yeah, she sold out, but we got two in the store right now. Do you want it?" I was like, "Yes, yes, I do." So, here, I'll let you take her.
Let me put those right there.
Make sure there's no residuals. Okay, she should be good. Okay, you can have her.
I like how you got acclimated already, brand new, into using the clamps and things. So as you can see the sparklers already on the outside. And you can see how he's using them to show highlight. Up in the corner, you can see the black and white 310. I'm not black and white. The black 310 ABs he's used as a highlight as well. Into the ribbon, you'll see that there are sparklers and highlight into the ribbon. I mean, the complete mapping process on this is going to look so amazing when it's done. The six times three, he doesn't like to say the six, the dark red, the authentic. He has a highlight system in place for those that he's using for the ribbon as well. So I just wanted you guys to see what you can do when it comes to customization of these pieces and some of the things that can be done. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. So you'll see right in here the 310 ABs. You'll see the customization in the red right here. And he mapped all of this out to a degree. I mean, I said that I wanted to do some customizing of some of my princess canvases, but it never dawned on me, how to infuse it in and where to start and how to, maybe look into highlighting, shading, and things of that nature. What's the inner color? Is it lighter? Focusing on the outer color. And, I mean, obviously you guys are colorists, a lot of you. And so that'll come in handy when it comes to customizing. Me, I'm not great at coloring. And so this gave me at least a better way to look at how to utilize these pieces.
Yeah, I mean, it's all just kind of what you feel.
Correct.
Because when I was putting this together, this one, like I said, is more the fly by seat one. This one was not nowhere nearly mapped as to completion as the other ones because I literally bought her because they said I don't even know what made me ask, but they said they had her, and I was like, yeah, give it to me. And she came, and I was waiting to start Mulan, who was supposed to be the first one, because I was waiting to order from Tina to get my sparklers before I even started. Because I was like, I don't want to take off and have to put back and all that. I just rather do it all in one whop. So she came right the day before Tina's sparklers came. So I was like, I had her out to map, and I was like,
might as well get started.
Let me just kind of see how freehand, like, I know how to map now. I know what numbers sit because I've done mapping on all of these colors in other photos. So I know how they sit together. So let me just freehand map instead of writing because she's not written in the book. This is more like freehand, pulling them out, and I know what numbers go with what, and switching them around and saying, okay, I'm gonna put some here. On this one, I'm gonna use them on the outline. On this one, I'm not gonna use them. I'm gonna use them on the inside, and then I'm gonna switch back and forth. And then also trying to see how her metallics fit in there too, to incorporate like the metallic sunshines, the originals, and the coppers in here, because I didn't want to do too much because I had copper gold and another one. So I could have did all these three colors and kind of made this almost all metal all the way through, which I was thinking. But like a friend of yours said that did the video on how she customizes.
Oh, that was Maritza.
Right. I took your advice and I watched her video.
He's talking about Kiss My Crafts customization video using sparklers for anybody who wants to go and watch that video.
I took her advice to just see, because she said, there's no wrong way. I listened to what she liked, and I was like, okay, that sounds like, basic highlights, depth, and things like that you learn in painting, with making some shades darker, some shades lighter, just to give you depth. So I knew that, and then I'm thinking, well, nothing's wrong, so I can always do my own thing, see how it kind of fills out. And plus I have these different types of translucents to ABs to metallics. How are they going to fit?
How are they going to fit?
Like, and I'm sitting there trying to overthink it for a minute, but then I was like, T said, if I don't start.
So y'all, anybody who follows diamond painting with sparklers, you guys probably seen me chiding him and chastising him on the page itself. But he's mapping. It's been a month. Start plucking. If you don't pluck, I would ask him every day, have you plucked something down yet? He hadn't plucked.
I put
Just
one down so she would stop. Like literally one drill
told me,
in the corner.
Yes. I said, yeah. How far did you get? He said, I put one down in the corner so that at least I could say I started.
I started.
So
that's all you said to do, start.
It's an addiction. That's all I can say. And everybody embraces it differently. For me, there have been times where, my purchasing was, just I'm online. I'm looking at sites. I'm looking at pictures. I got 3 different shopping carts that I'm comparing. And for me, that's taken over time that I could have been plucking. Right. So I definitely understand exactly. I talk about the addiction online all the time. It is extremely real. And I think one night we were in one of my lives and someone said, because my light it goes out a lot. Mm-hmm. And so that's why you see it taped like it is right here in the corner. So it can't move. Anyway, someone said, Tia, you going to replace that light pad? You need a new one. And I said, I know. But the cost of one that I want, I could get 2 diamond paintings for. And someone said, oh, you got it bad when you start thinking about purchases in terms of diamond paintings. I can't. That's 5 diamond paints. I can't get
You're
that.
Right, though. It's an addiction. It's an addiction even before you start.
Yes.
Because I promise you, when I got onto the Diamond Art Club website and I started like my regular shopping process, which is to just put every single thing that I think I might like in the cart. And then after that, we review the cart, and then we put everything that's in the cart that I really, really like in my wish list. Okay? Then we delete the cart, because see, that gets rid of a couple. And then we go to the wish list and we do it all again.
Yeah.
So that it helps me to weed down from what I'm just throwing in there. But with Diamond Art Club, there was
at least you had a system. I don't think a lot of us eradicate or erase our cart. I know I don't. I put something in a cart, it's there, especially on AliExpress. If it's in a cart, it stays in the cart.
Oh, yeah, AliExpress will keep your cart for years to come.
Yes, you can have so
Don't you want to buy this?
And I learned how to use Save for Later. I had a cart with eBay. I got a cart with Amazon, and my cart with Diamond Art Club. Yes, and I learned how to use the Save for Later function, and then I go into my Save for Laters, and I click it and add it to the cart. When I'm ready, I always play the the number game where you raise it up or down. You give them a number of 1 through 5. No, this is a 5. No, this one is more of a 3.
So then you can't say you don't have a process, because you do.
Well,
everybody's process is just a little bit different.
Yeah, that's true. My process
I guess you say you don't put it in the cart unless you know 100% that that's something that you gotta have.
It's something I gotta have. I have all.
On the other hand, there may be an item that I don't just have to have it, but it was on sale and it's nice, so I'm gonna put it in the cart.
You're gonna put it in the cart?
Yeah,
it's
because
cute.
Sometimes
it's cute.
It be deals where
cute.
You gotta get to a certain amount or something like that, and then what you really wanted is right under the amount. but that one thing that was on sale will pull you right where you need to be. So it's always good to just look at it. So that's what I do. I look at everything in a whole, then I continuously break it down until I'm left with like what I really am in love with. And unfortunately,
that's how you end up purchasing.
Unfortunately, Mandy kind of really.
That's who does it for you right now, Mandy.
Mandy do it so well. Like, I mean, nobody else does princesses, so again, it's like hard and biased because even when you look online, because I looked to try to see what the competition for Mandy would be. Else, was there other princesses, but all of them are just kind of like lithograph photos that they're putting diamonds on, or they're stolen Mandy work. It's just her work from somewhere else. So I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And like, I mean, for newbies, I guess I don't know how much those type of things matter to certain people, but I will tell you, like I said, it was a blessing to have her as a guide through this, because a normal person that would have just got into it on their own, not knowing anything, would not know that Diamond Art Club pays their artists and that these are commissioned paintings that you could resell, or that may even possibly could be worth something one day. You know, you just don't know, because we have actual commission work, whereas the others that take her work, you know, it's a different thing. And intrigued in that piece too, because it's so easy to take a picture, especially in this line of work, because that's what they like to do as custom artists, so it's easy to take an artist picture and put this on a canvas and sell it. So
that's good that you were able to come into that knowledge early on, because I have to be honest, a lot of us went through just before the holiday season, coming into the knowledge that, these pieces are that we were purchasing, trying to get discounts on. You talking about multi-placing?
Yeah, I'm so scared of it.
Don't be scared of multi-placing. It's your best friend.
I mean, it looks like Speedy-wise a best friend.
It is.
But to a person who is very meticulous about each drill sitting in the right place.
Oh, gosh, you sound like my son.
Don't sit right, you will move a whole entire row.
You do. You sound like Justin.
Because I just saw that one that was kind of like...
So I showed you his pens earlier, I think before we went live. And he told me he doesn't know. Yesterday when we were painting, we painted for about 3 hours yesterday. And I noticed that he was not multi-placing at all. And he's still working on a Diamond Art Club. Well, that's the one he worked on yesterday. He has 3 projects going in total. But he is working on, and his painting had color blocking, which are big blocks of color where you can really easily flip and use your multi-placer. And he told me he doesn't know how much more often he'll be using. And I said, why not? And he said he just prefers the way that the diamonds line up when he individually plucks.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like putting down, putting down all together would be the best bet for people like us that would make a entirely straight, perfect line, right? Wouldn't that make sense?
It would.
But I guess because I'm so review biased, because I'm still a newbie, and reviews, and some of you people are like, diamond painting gods to me. So I listen exactly with what is being said and how, everything is being said. Some people like them, some people don't. And I've seen some of the works where they put them and show you, like, even though you're using those, you still got to straighten them sometimes.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, if I already got to straighten them, why don't I just make sure they're straight the first time?
It definitely is. Everyone has their preference, and no one way is a right way, just to be honest. Obviously you can see I'm up to a 10 placer right here, and I am flipping right now with my 7 placer.
But you even place one with the 7 placers. So that's why I'm like, okay.
That's when you've been doing it for a while.
Yeah,
when you can do 1 or 2. So my 10 place, obviously, I don't have a lot of places in this one where I could use the 10 placer, but the 10 placer I used a lot on lips. And when I tell you that that was just a joy to work
Because
on,
you was finished.
I was finished so fast. It took me 8 days in total. And I felt like I was moving. That was the fastest painting that I had done, and it's not small. So I felt a huge sense of accomplishment when I did lips. But I think, even one that might have taken longer, I had the Disney one that I did for my sister in law last year. That was the one that took me the longest. It had a lot of popping drills, a lot, but it was something that I liked. When I saw it, I couldn't wait to get started, and I totally had her in mind as the recipient of the diamond painting.
Now, was it hard when you finished to let it go?
It was definitely hard to let it go, but I tell you what made it all worthwhile. Her expression.
Yeah, I could buy that.
Her expression when she received the gift, and then they just purchased a new home, and when we went to the home for the holidays, she had a frame and hanging.
So what you're saying is you go visit your picture now.
And I didn't know that it was going to be up.
So that's what
I
you
was
do now.
so shocked. I sure do.
So you being
I
honest.
said, "Oh my god!"
You don't even.
And
go
it
visit
was my mom. She came and she saw it, and because it was before she had moved out here, and it just ended up being. It was a nice moment. So I had her reaction when she received it, and then the reaction when I saw it put up, and then to see how other people reacted. She had it so cute. The area she had it around, she built out and decorated based on it, and it was a special piece. It was gorgeous, and so I felt a huge sense of accomplishment.
Plan for these.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's not going to work in my apartment. It's gonna have to work out when I get a house.
You get a house
or a different place, but I need a hallway. Is what I'm basically thinking. I want it in a long hallway, and I found some of the villains to the princesses. So what I want to do is have the duel. So Snow White will hang on this side of the hallway. Directly mirrored across her will be the Evil Queen.
Oh, I like that.
And they're gonna be like you have your kitchen lighting. I'm gonna have one for each.
Oh, like track lighting over.
Just
I like
for
that.
each, and they'll be in different color. So it's almost gonna look like a rainbow.
Okay.
Going down the hall.
Oh, going down. Okay.
And right now.
Oh.
Because you were messing with the shadow man. No, you laugh, but there's
you
a
gotta
funny
say it
story.
with the accent. You don't go messing around with that shadow man.
My family's from Louisiana.
Really?
Yes. And the funny thing is, we went to Disneyland recently after they had the Princess Tiana movie, and now they have the Shadow Man walking around in the Louisiana quarter. So I heard some boots. We were standing at the restaurant in the quarter. I heard some boots, and I turned around. It was the Shadow Man. They didn't see me for about 45 minutes.
I would have probably disappeared also.
When they found me, they was like, "What the heck happened?" I was like, "You don't go messing with the Shadow Man.
You don't go messing with the Shadow Man.
Everybody know you don't go messing with the Shadow Man. What's wrong with y'all?"
I think of now. It don't matter what you look like. Well, this has been a wonderful work in progress in a chat. I definitely appreciate you coming and hanging out with me.
Maybe you'll invite me again one day.
I definitely will have you again one day. This was a lot of fun. And you guys, just so you know, next time we're going to have the festive spirits going. I know you guys like when I get to acting up on screen, but I couldn't do such in front of company, when we just welcoming somebody to the family. Now he's acclimated, and next time we'll with a little tring-a-ling-a-ling.
But she had me drink wine before we started. I see this was a setup, people. This was a setup. Oh my God.
Him and Mom, they were toasting.
I was like, "Can you bring me my water?" She was setting me up.
Him and Mom were toasting. She said, "Y'all have fun. I'm going to go in the room." She back there probably with her feet kicked off. Oh, well, this was definitely fun, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure if you guys aren't subscribed, you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you notification bell so that you know when I'm going live or when I have a video scheduled. Yes, I do try to have a giveaway a month. This giveaway this month is going to focus on that newbie diamond painting experience. I would like to go back and capture the ooh and the moments that we all have when we first come into diamond painting. So I'll see you guys Wednesday for my live. Have a